All right, everyone, welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson, guys. I'm coming to you from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot, humid state of Texas. Y'all know exactly what it's like if you've ever been down to the dirty. You already know what I'm dealing with down here in the state of Texas. I want to welcome Renee to the stream. Renee's in the house. Welcome, Renee. Welcome to the stream. Renee knows exactly what I'm talking about because Renee also is from the great state of Texas, and she's very familiar with the temperatures that we get down here. So, yeah, there you go. All right, guys, we got a lot to get to tonight in the stream, so we're going to be going through those at pretty much rapid pace. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff to get to. We got a lot of unboxings, and we also have a lot of products that we talk about on a regular basis. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, drop them down in the comments, and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. As soon as I look down and see them, I will try to highlight them as well. All right. Also, guys, let us know, other than Renee, well, Renee can do it as well. Let us know what state you are watching from. The algorithm loves knowing where you guys are from. I am down here in the state of Texas, as I've said many times. So let us know what state you hail from. All right, so let's get to the first thing we have listed in the carousel. Being that I am down here in the state of Texas, I can honestly tell you guys, being here, knowing what I know, experiencing what I've experienced, having a backup power source, guys, is crucial to your well-being. So we have a couple of batteries in the carousel tonight. Here is one of the batteries we're going to take a look at. Now, this is from our friends over at Blue Yeti. This is the AC2A. Now, this is a pretty close to 300 watt battery. You have AC and DC power. You have this nice little LCD right here on the front. This can be charged either by AC power, by a solar panel, another battery. You have a 12 volt input right here like you find in some vehicles if they still have those, as well as I said, you can charge this with the solar panel. I see Terry has made it to the stream. Welcome, Terry. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. This has an integrated handle, as you guys see here. Nice little rubberized feet underneath. It even has a grounding plug for it, so if you do need to ground your battery for some reason, you have that as well. You guys see how easily I'm handling this battery. Now, it is not super lightweight, but it's not heavy either. It's really nice that you have two AC plugs right here. You have USB-C, two USB-A's, for this unit as well. And those two buttons are controllable right here. You have AC and DC power right here. We'll probably find something to test on this battery tonight. But if you guys have any questions about this battery, or if you already have some type of battery, let me know exactly which battery you have that you're using on a regular basis. But yeah, here we go. This is what we have right now. All right, I don't know why I'm getting a call on my phone right now. Someone is calling me on my phone. I have no idea why someone would be calling me during my stream, but there we have it. Someone is calling me on my phone during my stream. So almost everybody knows what time I go live here that knows me personally. So, that's kind of weird. But anyway, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling, guys. Let's get to our next item in the carousel. Is going to be another battery. Now, this battery is a little bit more compact. Now, of course, this is not going to give you the same benefits the first battery we looked at is going to be able to give you, but this is a nice battery to have as well. Now, this is more travel friendly because, guys, you'll be able to put this in your backpack, your purse, your fanny pack, that crazy bag configuration that Richard rides around with when he's rollerblading. But on this one, you actually have two USB-Cs and one USB-A. It has a little LCD right here on the side that will show you what your battery level is. Let me just take it over here to the top down so you guys can see it a little bit closer. So you guys can see right here, this is the battery that we're looking at and what's going on with it. You have your in and out right here, and that's up to 140 watts. You have your out. These two are outs. This is your USB-A and your USB-C. Very compact battery. I've had this one for quite a while. As you guys can tell, it has a lot of fingerprints on it. But this battery is from Ugreen. Now, right now, you can get this battery here on Amazon, guys, for $69.99. $69.99 for a 145 watt battery. That's 25,000 milliamp hours. So this is going to be able to charge your phone, your tablet, you know, possibly your computer, depending on how you connect to it. So this, again, is an excellent battery to have with you, depending on your lifestyle. Okay, so a lot of these are going to be lifestyle-like batteries. You know, what is best for your specific lifestyle? Renee is a teacher. I could easily see, you know, Renee having one of these in her daily bag just in case she needs to charge up quickly a phone or a tablet because they're going on field trips, or, you know, maybe they're away from the school for some period of time other than field trips, or away from her classroom and she still needed to charge up some of her devices. This could really come in handy. Now, Renee, let me know, do you personally have one of these portable batteries? It doesn't have to be this exact same battery here. Let me know which battery you have. Terry, as well, if you have a portable battery that you use on a regular basis, let me know. Hope, if you're using one of these portable batteries and you know the brand name of the battery, let me know as well. Inquiring minds would like to know. Hope is over on YouTube, as she is most nights, and Hope is saying hello to everyone. Let me see if I can send Hope a link to us here on Amazon, because she was able to log into my Govi stream. So let's see if we can send her a link where she can log in perhaps to our YouTube stream. We'll see how that goes. All right, so let me go ahead and send a link out real quick here and see if we can get her over here so she can hang out with us, guys. Give me 1 second to post this and send it out. There we go. All right, so back to the grind, back to the grind. All right, so we have other items that we're going to be taking a look at tonight. I want to thank all of you for coming over to Govi on the last stream. You guys, you know, came in and showed out and support. I welcome, you know, all the questions, you know, of course, but more importantly, I love seeing the community come together regardless of which platform we are on, or, you know, because I don't really consider this to be my stream. I consider it to be our stream. So, you know, you guys are just as big a part of what goes on here as, you know, myself or, you know, anyone else that would show up for the stream. So, you know, thank you again for you guys showing up. All right, so let's get into a little bit of higher end tech. So the next item in the carousel is actually this little camera here, okay? So this is from our friends over at Ozbot. This is the Ozbot Meet 2. Let me see what Terry's saying here. I don't have a portable battery. What? Terry, you don't have a portable battery? I'm telling you, these things come in so clutch. You just never know when the power is going to go out. Renee, let me see what Renee is saying. I bought me a, I don't know which brand that is. I'm not familiar with that. What's the watt? What is the watt hours of that battery that you have, Renee? Let us know down in the comments. If you know, don't pressure yourself. All right, so let's take a closer look at this little camera right here. Now, I'm going to connect this here in a little bit to this device, but I want you guys to see it a little bit closer up here. Let me fix this camera first. Let me set it back to tracking. So there's tracking me. There we go. Okay. So anyway, this camera here, guys, is a 4K camera as well from Ozbot. Now, this is one of their more basic cameras. It does come with a magnetic base that you can connect this to. It has a 1/4-20 right here. That's going to make it easy for you to mount this on a light stand, a tripod, monopod, anything like that. And of course, you know, magnets. This little stand here also opens up so that you can clip this easily over, you know, your desktop monitor or something like that, especially if you're going to be using this like for Zoom calls or for live streaming or gaming or any of the things that I normally use one of these for. So this is a really, really nice little camera. And right now, guys, 16% off on this guy. It's down to $109 right now, $109, which is a great price for this 4K camera, built-in microphones, AI features as well. Yeah, this is a wonderful little camera. Now, like I said, we may connect it to this device here in a little bit, so I'm just going to leave it down here on the desk so I can readily find it when I need it. And I guarantee you when I look for it next, I won't be able to find it. So You guys already know. Renee says her battery has 2,000 milliamp hours. See, now that's about where my bigger batteries are. So I have a Blue Yeti battery directly underneath my desk here that I use to power all the lights here in the studio. And I just noticed one of my lights is not on, that I forgot to turn on. And let's see, can I get to my phone? Because my phone is on, I'm using one of my phones as a camera. So I'm going to turn those lights on back there, which is my curtain lights. And I did forget to turn those on, so let me turn those on. Let me turn those on real quick here. All right, those should pop up now. Let me see, did they come on? Nope, for some reason they did not come on. So let me try turning those on. All right, there we go. Now our lights are back on. All right, we are good to go. I can switch back to camera mode. So now the phone can go back to being a camera. There we go. All right, so that's literally how easy it is to, to set up these lights. And just in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you here. That's these lights right here. That's my curtain lights, from Govee. And you guys know I have a ton of lights here in the studio. I forgot to turn those on as well, but I'll get to that here in a second. We'll get to it. All right, so next item in the carousel is something that's already down here on my desktop. So I'm just going to unplug it real quick and show you guys. So one of the bundles that we have is also from Ozbot. And in that bundle, you're going to receive this camera here. This is the Ozbot Tail 2. This is a PTZ-R camera. That means that the internal mechanism of the camera can rotate. And what's nice about that, if you're creating content for Instagram or TikTok, you don't have to turn the camera sideways in order to get, a really high quality 4K video like you would with some of these smaller cameras. Like, for instance, this camera here, which is the Ozbot Tail Air. This one, you do have to turn it sideways if you wanted to get 4K 9:16, from this camera. With this one, you won't have to do that because it actually has a built-in mechanism that you can activate using your smartphone app. You're just going to connect to the camera, and you're going to switch it into 9:16 from its standard 16:9. So really, really nice, really easy to do. This guy is a beast. 4K, 60 frames a second. You have all of the new updated connection points on this camera. You guys can see back here, we have our line in, we have our mic in, we have a full-size HDMI, we have our RS-232s. That's going to be for your PTZ controllers. You also have SDI. You have Ethernet on this guy as well, and you also have two USB-Cs over here. One is for power, the other one is for UVC. That's so you can connect this to a computer. And it has venting all around the camera, as you can see. It's got a little bit of weight to it. You can also install an SD card to this and directly record right to this. So basically, you can take this camera out just like any other camera, and you could actually use it as a, as a PTZ tracking camera and be able to record yourself, doing any of the cool stuff you do. Maybe you go skateboarding or, whatever it is you do. Now, this is not waterproof. You cannot put this in any water or anything, but it is an outstanding little camera for what it is. I am going to connect it back to this device that you see here on my desk. Now, in the bundle, I have it connected to this device because I want to demo this device here in a little bit. But in the bundle, okay, you actually get this with a different device. You actually get the camera with the Ozbot streaming deck, which is a 4-in-1 device as well. And that is, let me grab it back here so I can show it to you guys. So let me, there we go. I had to put a little muscle into that one. Okay, so that would be this tablet that you see right here. This is the Ozbot Talent. The Ozbot Talent is a 4-in-1 device. That means it is a streaming deck, it is a monitor, it's a recorder, it's an encoder. You can live stream directly from this device. That's why it's connected to this camera, because you can also record to the device itself. You can play back pre-recorded content. So you can do your whole live stream just from a little device like this. I'm just going to power it on here real quick so you guys can see what that looks like. And a lot of the Osbot cameras that we mentioned so far, like the Talent and also the Tail Airs, you can use NDI or SRT, meaning that you can connect to this wirelessly and control it wirelessly. Now, I do have a HDMI receiver connected right here, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit, showing you guys what that is actually used for. But this is kind of my running gun rig setup. You know, the Sony FX30 with the top handle, shotgun microphone, and also something like the Osbot Talent. And I'm going to put this back here in the desk and show you guys here real quick. I can set it up without getting any reflections. Let me grab my headphones here real quick as well. All right, so let's switch over to our this camera, and let me show you guys here. So as you guys can see here, the way this is set up, this is ideal for connecting it to alternate, to more cameras. You can have a number of wireless cameras connected to this, wired cameras connected to this as well, and you can stream your entire show, record your entire show from this setup. So whether you're using this camera here or one of the other Osbot cameras that we talked about earlier, you'll be able to pretty much achieve the same thing. So that's going to be in the entire bundle. That bundle comes with the Talent, it comes with the Tail 2, and it comes with the remote control. The remote control is pretty cool. I think I charged it up, but the remote control is another cool feature of this, and that's going to allow you to control up to 3 cameras. So here is the remote right here, and as you guys can see, I have it upside down, but anyway, this is the remote. This will allow you to connect to up to 3 cameras. Each camera can have its own presets, up to 3. You have your human tracking, pet tracking, you have a built-in laser. I always mention that in this remote because I think about somebody like Renee, who's a teacher, and this would be great if she was doing like an online class and she needed to point out something on a bulletin board. She could just turn on her little remote, and then she'd be able to point the laser. Let me see if I can show you guys the laser. Hold on. Let me... Okay, I don't know why I didn't wake up. But anyway, so you could point the laser at pretty much whatever you want to point the laser at. And you also have the joystick control on here. You have your photo button, you have a video button, and you have a power button for turning on and off cameras, okay? So there's no camera connected to this right now, and that might be the problem. So let me turn on one of these cameras, and they should have some power. So let's just power this one up. This is one of the Tail Air cameras here, and this one's going to power on here in a second. Let's also go ahead and turn on the remote again, and this should easily connect to it. Let's give it a second. We're waiting for the green light to come on. That should also come on here in a second. There we go. So this camera's now connected. And did I charge this enough? I don't know. Let me check. Let me see if this still needs to be charged. Yes, it does. It still needs to be charged because it did not power up. So what that means is I forgot to charge it again. But anyway, you guys get the idea. So let me just let this sit here for a minute, or I will leave it on charge as well. And let me see if I can just set it down here on the desk and show you guys what I'm talking about. So let me switch back over to the iPhone camera, and let's bring this over. All right, so now you can see that the everything is lit up because the camera that we're connected to is the one Osbot camera. That's camera number 1, which is this camera right here. And that's also going to show up here on the Talent. So if I go back over to the Talent and tap on the screen, I should see video from that camera on here somewhere. For some reason it's not connected to the Talent right now. But anyway, so usually I would have all of these cameras connected, and I think it's because I've been switching the cameras out and using them with other devices to test. So this one is probably not in SRT mode, where the other one behind it is. And also this one is right here. So if I unplug this camera right now, I'll show you guys what I mean. If I unplug this camera, just turn it on, and you'll see it's going to connect to the remote as well. And we should have an indicator light. And this one I know is connected to the talent. So we should be able to, as soon as it's completely connected, I can switch over to camera 3. All right, so now we're on camera 3, as you guys see there. And if we go back over here to the talent, we should soon see that camera pop up. There it is right there. So you guys can see now that camera is connected to it. That's what I was talking about. So you can connect to these cameras wirelessly. This camera right now is connected, and I can use the joystick or the presets to control what the camera does. So if I grab the joystick here now, I can take the camera up, tilt up. I can pan left, I can pan right, and obviously that's going to be reflected on the video here because it's wirelessly connected. So again, this is an excellent bundle for anybody who's looking to live stream. Now, do you need the Sony camera as well? No, you don't. Now, that's just my specific rig setup. You don't have to have this kind of rig set up in order to make this work. You could just have your talent and your different cameras connected to it, and they'll work out perfectly, guys. No problems whatsoever. All right, so let me check the comments and make sure I didn't miss anything. I see Alan DeBay is in the house. Welcome, Alan. Welcome to the stream. All right, so yeah, that is our third item in the carousel, which is the Ozbot Tail 2 PTZR camera, also with the Ozbot talent, which is this device that you guys see right here. Okay, and of course, like I said, it comes with the remote. Now that one is $2258.15 for the entire bundle. Now the camera that I am using, just in case you guys did not know, the camera that I am using is the Sony FX30. This is Super 35 camera. You can get that here on Amazon for $2574.95. And let me give you guys a better look at that camera. Now this one can also do 4K, 60 frames a second. We can do slow motion up to 120 frames a second. It's a beautiful, beautiful camera. Now this is very video centric. It is really designed for video work. The photo side of it is not that great on the 30 because it does like 1 frame a second. Now my FX3, has a normal frame rate of like 10 frames a second, where you would use like for action shots or something like that. But if you do need to take a photo, you can take it with this camera, but it is for the most part designed to be used as a video production camera. That's basically what it's meant to be used for. So $2574.95 for the camera, and then the transmitter receiver kit is $89.99, and it comes with the transmitter and receiver. Let me grab the transmitter so I can show it to you guys. So this is what that looks like. So both of these have to be powered. So you have to, plug this into whatever device. This is the transmitter. It says TX right here. And I have an adapter on here because originally I think I had this connected to, I don't know what device I had it connected to that needed this mini. Maybe it was one of my monitors, okay? But you have a full-size HDMI on the transmitter as you do on the receiver, and it does come with these adapters that just kind of fit on like that. The antenna is adjustable, so you can kind of put that wherever you need to get the best input. You will have to provide power to these, so they do come with the cables so that you can provide AC power or DC power for the most part to these. So you could use like a portable battery, or you could use like an Anton Bauer battery connected to your camera or something like that, and you'd be able to power these off of VMAX battery or whatever it is that you're using. And some cameras can actually produce enough power that you could just plug this directly into the camera. Well, if you're transmitting from the camera and the other device is going to be the receiver. So on the talent here, you guys can see I have the receiver connected right here to the talent. Okay, so this would basically transmit data from whatever other device I would want to send that from, you know, in order for it to be seen. So just like when Alan's doing festivals and, you know, concerts and, you know, they're doing talking head segments, they're doing storytelling and stuff like that. You know, they wanted to have like a roving camera around, you know, in the audience where people are walking around. Somebody's walking around with the camera and getting, you know, the audience responses or reactions or whatever it is. That's another way that you could transmit that video over to your digital village or your video village, so that you'll be able to incorporate that into your recording or your live stream or whatever, you know, however you're producing your show. Let's see what Alan says here. Did you know that, do you know what you call a duck that spontaneously combusts? No, Alan, what do you call a duck that spontaneously combusts? A firecracker. A firecracker. All right, all right. All right, let's see what Hope is talking about over here on YouTube. Thank you, Rome, for the help. I will try later. I'm not sure what that means, what she's going to try later. I sent you a link to the live stream here on Amazon. So if you click on that link, it should bring you over to this live stream that's going on here on Amazon. And you should be able to enter the chat just like you did on Govee, and you can interact with everyone that's live in the chat right now. My man, Richard is in the house. What it do, fam? Richard, what it do? How many bloopers did you miss? We are not telling, Richard. We are not telling. And I have sworn everyone to secrecy. You know, with the cross hearts, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has been sworn to secrecy. So nobody, Richard, is going to tell you anything, because they know what Richard is going to do if he discovers any kind of bloopers in my stream. It's going to be all over TikTok. It's going to be played 24/7. A gazillion people are going to be watching it. Wait, let me check on Renee. Wait a minute. Shh. Everybody hide. Yeah, everybody hide, because Richard is here. All right, let me grab our next item in the carousel. All right, guys, so the next item in the carousel is this camera right here. This is the Osmo Pocket 3. Now, this little camera right here has become my workhorse, okay? I use this camera every single day to create videos, to create content, sometimes even for live streaming, connecting it to another device. This guy right here is a rock star. It's got a little built-in screen, as you guys can see here. There's a PTZ feature built into it. It has tracking. You can, you know, easily tap on the screen and, you know, frame something up that you wanted to track, and as you move the camera around, it'll keep that. And then this one also comes with the DJI Mic 2, which is this Bluetooth microphone that you guys see here. Really high quality. This guy has 32-bit float. For my audiophiles out there, you guys know the benefit of that. You don't have to worry about clipping or anything like that. You just bring your audio file directly into your editor, and you're pretty much good to go, okay? So it can record internally, and of course it has 32-bit float, which is a win, guys. It's a win. So this little bundle right now, you can get it here on Amazon for $838.99, unless somehow Richard has found a coupon for it or something. But like I said, this little guy right here has become one of my favorite cameras. I use this thing every single day, every day. This camera is connected to this desk back here, or I have it set up over here for the talking head segment of my videos. This is the camera I'm recording on. You guys, you know, seen already, you know, I have some very high-end cameras at my disposal, but I'm telling you guys, this camera right here is a rock star. This is the camera that I put a lot of value in. This is the camera that I rely on every single day to record my content. No questions asked. This guy right here, boom, baby, boom. This is the beast right here. This is the workhorse. This is the ride or die for now. And what's cool about this guy, just like we talked about the Osbot tail 2. This one also can rotate into portrait or landscape orientation. So you basically just, if you close the screen, when the screen is open like this, it is in landscape orientation. But if you rotate it down like so, then it's going to switch to portrait orientation. Now, this one does not rotate like the other camera does internally. What it does is just crops in on the video, the sensor, which is going to give you the equivalent of 2 to 3K versus 4K. You know, in the 16:9, in your 9:16, you're going to get about 3K. But hey, you know, most people are uploading 1080p. You know, you're not going to notice the difference, guys. If anything, you're going to get a better quality 1080p from that 3 to 4K. I mean, 2 to 3K from this camera. No bars, no questions asked. You got your little joystick here that you can use to move the camera's head around pretty much wherever you want to, up, down, left, right, whatever you want to do. And that comes in really handy. And of course, you can install an SD card. I have a 256 gigabyte SD card in here, and I've been using it up, you know, because I have sometimes forget to delete all the files off of it. And yeah, with that, I have to remind myself all the time, because usually what I do when I create my video, I just plug this into my Mac, drag the files off, bring them into Final Cut, and then edit my videos, and I'm pretty much good to go. So yeah, this little guy right here is a serious contender as a rock star for video productions. Now, we did just receive a new product that is designed to work with that camera. So let me find the box. Oh, there it is. All right. So we just got this in today, and this is from Godox, okay? So this is the Godox Cube OP3. Now, what this is a wireless microphone, also designed for the Osbot, for the Osbot Pocket 3. If you purchased it without a microphone, this will allow you to connect to it the same way, but it does it a little bit different, where the microphone that we're using now uses Bluetooth. This one actually has a dock that you plug into the camera, and what that's going to allow you to do, we're going to open this up and I'll show you guys what I'm saying. So let me clear up my desk just a little bit. Let's go down to the top-down view, and you guys see it right here. Let me grab one of my knives so we can open this up real quick, and I'll show you guys what comes in the box. So in the box, all right, there we go. Put that knife away. Put this knife away before the algorithm gets me. All right. All right, so here you go, guys. So this is the box that everything comes in, and of course, after taking the plastic off, I just noticed I forgot to cut this right here. And do I have another razor out? Nope, of course not. So I got to get the knife out again, and we're going to cut that real quick. All right, there we go. All right, so now we can open our box, and inside of the box, we're going to find one of those, one of those candy packets that Richard eats all the time. I don't suggest that anybody else eats these except for Richard. I collect these, and I actually send them to Richard. So if you guys want to, give Richard a treat, and you get some of these in your box, just go ahead and keep them and then send them over to Richard. He'll eat them. But anyways. No, don't eat those. Those are not good for you. Okay, so as you guys can see in here, it comes with the starter manual. It comes with some stickers. We're not going to go through all of that. We're just going to take a look at what comes in here. So it comes with this little case. That's one of the things I love about a lot of these Godox products. They come with their own little travel case. That's really nice. Comes like with a little, lanyard thingamajiggy here if you want to hang this off for some reason. I don't know why you'd want to do that. All right, single zipper. That's okay. So inside of this section up here, we have all of our cables. We have another little lanyard in there. We have the microphone itself, it looks like, or either that's a magnet. I can't tell. Oh, that's a clip. Okay, so let's get that little clip out so I can show you guys what that looks like. So you get one of these little magnetic clips that you can clip on to like your shirt or something like that. That comes with it. And of course, like I said, it comes with all the cables and everything that you need right here in this little section, which is easy, accessible, and nice that it comes with it. In this little section here, you're going to find the adapter. You're going to get the microphone. It also comes with the little dead cat on there. That's your wind protector. This is a very small microphone, so let me show you guys. This part right here just pops off like so. So here is your microphone. Okay, and I'm not sure how you charge this yet, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that. I think it must have a special charger for charging this, because I can see the little 3 pins down here. So that's probably how we're going to charge that. So most likely it comes with what you need to charge that. And then when you want to put this back on, it's just like putting a little Band-Aid or rubber band on here or whatever it is. All right, so we got the magnet on the back here, and that's what the other part connects to. This is just our little wind muff. And then here is the here's the adapter that connects to the camera. Okay, so this just pops out like so. Here is your power button right here on the back. You have your transmit receive right here as well. You have T1, TX1, TX2. It does have a quarter 20 underneath, as you guys can see. It has USB underneath as well, so that's good to see. And it has a USB in the front, which is nice as well, so you can connect to this multiple ways. These little clips here on the side just lock onto our device. So let me show you guys what that looks like. Let me set that there for a second. And I'm just gonna take this section right here off of the off the Pocket 3, and it just comes off like that. And then this one, as you see here, just clips on. For some reason it looks like it's backwards. It is backwards. Okay, but regardless, no, I guess that's front facing. So we'll just pop this in like that. And if you're looking at it from this perspective, then you're going to see the Godox on there. But usually this is technically the front of the camera, and this is the back of the camera where the monitor is. So yeah, that is facing in the right direction. And then, like I said, you have a USB-C right here if you wanted to take files off or charge this or whatever it is. And you also have clips on here where you can clip something additional to it, right? So I can take this right now, and check this out. And I can clip this onto it. And now I have the microphone connected to it, the receiver for the microphone, and I still have my extension here with my tripod. So that's pretty much what it would look like. It looks a little bit longer, but you guys get the idea. If you didn't already have this microphone with your kit, this is going to be an excellent, excellent option for you for this setup. So definitely take a look at this. I think this is pretty cool. And again, you just press your little buttons on here to take these off. On this one, these press down like so, and then you can just pull it off like that. So that's really cool. All right, so that is the Godox microphone kit, wireless lavalier microphone kit for the Osbot Pocket 3. All right, so let's go ahead and put this guy back together the way it normally is, like so. Always make sure you snap both of these. I see people drop their cameras all the time because they don't make sure both of these are secured. So definitely make sure both of those are secured. All right, so let's go ahead and put this guy away. We don't need it right now. Just gonna put it over here on the other desk. And we're also going to, let's go ahead and put everything back here in this little pouch, because I still need to do a video on this guy, maybe tomorrow morning or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what my day looks like tomorrow if we have time for it. All right, so there we go. In the case, everything fits in the case perfectly, no problems. Like I said, this is going to be very, very travel friendly. If you're building out a rig, especially if you're going to be using a Pocket 3, this could be a very good option for you. If you're not ready to invest in the DJI microphones, here is an option. And these are right now only $49, guys, for these wireless microphones. $49 is a pretty good deal. I can't give it my stamp of approval until I actually hear the quality of the audio from the microphones. So right now, I'm just going to say that I have used a lot of Godox microphones in the past, and I know for a fact that they do a really good job, very good pickup, very good reliability. Transmission distance is very good on these as well. Actually, let me see what the transmission is on these, if it says it. So, okay, we got a 10-hour battery life. That's pretty cool. But I'm not seeing what the distance is, but it does have noise cancellation built into it, which is really nice. These are going to be great for live streaming and stuff like that. But what I'm looking for is for it to tell me what the streaming distance is. I don't see that. I'll look it up later. Oh, here it is. It is 200 meters and 656 feet is the transmission on these guys. So yeah, definitely really, really nice distance on these microphones. So definitely check those out. Let me put these over here somewhere so I can find them in the morning. All right. Let's see what we have next in the carousel. So next item in the carousel is down here on my desk. Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much for posting that in the comments. Richard is dead on. All right, so the next item we have listed in the carousel, guys, is from our friends over at YOLO Live, which is YOLO Live, which is the YOLO Box Pro. I have it here on my desk. I'm not going to go through the YOLO Box the way I normally do with all of its features, but what I am going to do is I'm going to connect it to my computer right now so you guys can see what's on the screen versus trying to watch it from, just this top-down camera. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy on. So we're going to power this up. There we go. And we're also going to connect to this other camera here, which is going to be our test camera, which is this camera that you guys see here on the desk. That's going to be our test camera. So we're waiting on the screen to connect. Let me go ahead and switch over to our... All right, so there we go. So let's go ahead and swipe down so I can show you guys some of the features of the YOLO Box Pro. So I already set up a demo stream here earlier. So what you guys are looking at is, let's go all the way down here. So you have some services that you can pay for, but you don't really need to because everything you need is built into the device. You can go in and you can add image overlays, lower thirds, countdown timers. So if you want to do like a countdown timer, you can do that. You can also set up your web URLs. You guys know how I do that, where I have like on the other device where I have like the graphics from like my live streams from a couple of months ago. We have titles. They have 4 basic titles in here that you can do. These are just things that are already built in. Of course, you can also customize this however you like. You also have your social media overlays that you can choose one of those. You're just going to change the name for Facebook, YouTube, for Instagram, they need to update this one to say X, but we know what Twitter is, and also LinkedIn. And of course, like I said, you can bring in your own custom graphics. Let me go ahead and just switch over to the camera. So that's this camera that you guys are seeing right here, and I'll show you that in a wider version. But here's a graphic that I created earlier, which is just a lower third, and it just says Rome Knows Tech, hosted by Rome Wilkerson, so you guys can see that down here at the bottom. And you guys see we still have all of our little icons down here, so I can just click right here. This is going to take me over to all the different places that I can live stream to. With this device, you can live stream to up to 3 different destinations at the exact same time, and that's found here under your platforms. And you can also add your custom RTMPs, like what we use here on Amazon, or if you're live streaming to LinkedIn or one of those platforms, you can add it. Holy Chat is in the house. Welcome. Yeah. Just buy it cause YOLO. Right? You only live once, right? Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Richard says the YOLO Box Pro has a savings of $300, which brings it down to $998 for this unit that is right here on my desk. Okay, so that's a pretty good deal, guys. I think it was in the $1,400 range, you know, when this guy first came out. So, you know, if you're looking for a way to live stream, this has some other features too, which are pretty cool. You can actually bring in live guests. All you would have to do is type here where it says invite guests, and you can type in their email addresses and send them a link where they'll be able to connect to you, kind of like Zoom does. And you also have the ability to mute the guests and allow the guests to participate. You have those controls right here as well. You can just switch those on and off, which is nice. You have your audio mixer that's here, and every device that's connected to it will have audio coming into it. You guys should be able to see the audio at the top of the screen right now, and the reason why that is because this microphone right here through my Rodecaster Pro, I have it also feeding into the YOLO box, so you guys see the audio going into it as well. So that's really easy, you know, to set up depending on your device, whether you're using wireless microphones or you're using a audio mixer with a, you know, a higher end microphone, and that could be condenser microphone or, you know, a dynamic microphone. It doesn't really matter. You know, it just depends on which microphones you use. If you want to eliminate some of the background noise, then I would say go with a, you know, a condenser microphone. But, you know, pick what works best for you. All right, so you also have scoreboards built into this one. We've talked about these before with other devices. Scoreboards built into this. You have live chat, so you can actually bring in your live chat, similar to what I do here, but this has to be supported by the platform that you're streaming to. I'm using a different type of WebSocket in order to show your chat here on the stream. And honestly, I'm trying to figure out why your chat's not showing up right now. Hold on, let me check something real quick here. Where is your live chat on here? I don't see your live chat. Give me a second, guys. I don't know why your live chat's not showing up on here. Let me try it. Let me try it on a different one. Let me switch over here. Okay, well, whichever it may be. But anyway, you guys get the idea. You have live chat with this device, okay? And you also have the ability to set the cameras where they will automatically rotate, so you can have up to 3 HDMI cameras, 1 USB camera. You can have local videos too. You can have NDI. You can have another live stream coming in that you can, you know, switch to as well. So someone else could be live streaming while you're live streaming, or you're recording. Maybe you're, you know, doing the producer role and you're just, you know, ingesting the, you know, the data. You could use it for that as well. PDFs you'll be able to control here. So if you're doing any type of, you know, webinars and things like that, you'll be able to use a PDF and advance it and, you know, go back and forth and zoom in and zoom out and all that kind of stuff with your PDF, which is also really nice. And of course, you can bring in images. Now, you would have to have all of these things on the SD card that you would have installed into the device. Now, on the top of the device, you guys can see here, you have 4 HDMI inputs. I'm sorry, 3 HDMI inputs, 1 USB input. You have Ethernet, you have HDMI out. That's how I'm connecting it to my hub right now. You also have USB out. We have line in, mic in. This is the cable right here that I'm actually using to connect to my microphone. And then right here is USB-C that I'm actually charging this guy and keeping it the power level up just using one of these portable batteries, guys. So I just have it connected to one of these batteries right here. That's just going to keep the battery on this device at 100%. So that'll give me a very long runtime, you know, when it comes to live streaming. All right, so let's go back over here. And what else do we have? So we got all of our settings. Again, these are very simple things, you know, like your streaming modes, your start here at the bottom and work our way up. So if you have the YOLO deck, that's kind of like a stream deck. You'll be able to use that also with this device. I don't have the YOLO deck for this, but you guys get the idea what it's used for. It's just like a stream deck, and I'll show you guys what a stream deck looks like in case you don't know. So this is a stream deck right here on my desk. They have their own version of a Stream Deck that will connect to the YOLO box and allow you to set up scenes and turn on and off resources, adjust audio, all of that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool that that's all built into the device. All right. So you have a lot of flexibility, guys, with the YOLO Box Pro. Okay, with the YOLO Box Pro, you get a ton of features. Richard says we got 40K likes. Yeah! All right, let's keep rolling because we got still a lot to get to tonight. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn this guy off so I don't run the battery down in case I want to live stream with it tomorrow. Let's switch back over and also turn off this camera. Power that down as well. Okay, so we're good. That camera's off. That's off. This remote is charging, I believe. And we need to turn these cameras off that are back here. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, let me stop this camera from tracking me here real quick. There we go. All right, so let's power this guy off as well. There we go. And let's move this out of the way so y'all can see my beautiful light back there. All right. All right, so what do we got next? So the next item in the carousel, guys, is from our friends over at Xtool, and that is this device right here. Whoops, wrong one. Let's go right here. That would be this device right here. This is the Xtool M1 Ultra. Now, this is a 4-in-1 crafting device. You actually have 4 different modules that come with it. You get the pin module, which is this that you see right here. You attach pins inside of this, and this can actually draw. You have a print module that you can use with this as well, so you can print directly onto certain substrates. And you have the you have a cut module here, and you also have the laser. Now, my unit came with a 10-watt laser, but you can also get this same unit with a 20-watt laser. It has venting built into it as well. This lid right here protects your eyes. It's the same color as the laser glasses you would normally purchase for one of these, or come with a lot of these lasers. But this way you can actually sit and watch your jobs run without having to worry about, damaging your eyes, when that's going on. So this unit right now is $1,199.99. So if you guys are interested in crafting, this could be an excellent, excellent device. I know you guys have seen a ton of things that I have created with that laser. Some of them I think I put away in my desk here. Let me see if I can grab out just a couple of these for you real quick. Like here is something that I made a while back. This is black acrylic. So on this side of it, we engraved "Be a Good Human," be a good human, pay it forward. And then on this side, we engraved this lion that you guys see right here. So that quality is what you're going to get from this laser, guys. That kind of quality you're going to get from this laser, which is just amazing. I threw a bunch of these in my desk here just recently, but I'll show you guys some other things here. Here's some wood that we cut and engraved with that laser for New Year's. Here's Richard's little race car that we did a couple of months ago. Here is something we did for Terry. This is some penguins, a penguin family, and some looks like seagulls, whatever it is. Also black acrylic. We made this for Renee. This is a little dragon seahorse or whatever it's called. And again, black acrylic. We have engraved on metal. We have engraved, here's something that we cut out. I think I made this for Richard. Also, this is a lion. Both of us, Richard and myself, are both Leos, and I think I made this, just with Richard in mind, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, guys, it's a lot of cool things that you can do with this laser, including the fact that you can print, and if you have a heat press and it has the blade attachment, this is going to be perfect for cutting your acrylics and things like that. So yeah, it's basically an all-in-one crafting machine. So definitely check it out. The price is right for that. You know, you're not going to go wrong with Xtool. They are, you know, leaders in the industry when it comes to lasers, when it comes to a number of different products, but mostly lasers. I would say they are definitely one of the top brands when it comes to lasers. So if you're looking for a high quality laser, whether it's a fiber laser, a diode laser, a CO2 laser, whatever the case it is, definitely check out Xtool. I think you're going to be really, really happy with the things that they have to offer. All right, so we got some new things here in the studio. Let me show you guys this real quick, where I do with it. All right. So I haven't decided where I'm going to set this up, but basically what this is a stand. This is basically a mounting arm for a camera because I needed to be able to connect another camera to my desk back there. And everything I need comes in here, so you get like your little desktop connection here. Let me just switch over to this camera real quick and show you guys. All right, so this is basically what it looks like, guys. This is going to be great for phones, for cameras, for monitors, for projectors, for lights, whatever you want to do, right? So this is a two-piece device. So it's going to mount onto your desk like so. You have this little pole here, and then you have the second arm that comes out that is, you know, extendable, and you can mount a camera or light or whichever one you want. It comes with two ball head mounts on here. So pretty much everything that you need comes in this one little box. This was $19.98, and yes, I did buy this myself because I needed it right away. And I wanted to go ahead and set it up and have this ready for the next big streams that we're going to be doing here. So I could have alternate top-down views on the other desk that's behind me. So I wanted to be able to quickly be able to switch over and possibly show products on that back desk. But this is the product that you guys see right here. Right now, you can get this for under $20. So Terry, if you're thinking about doing some DIY stuff, maybe you're making something for Buddy and Bear and you just want to show the process of how you're making it, this is going to be an excellent way to mount your phone, still have a front-facing light, you know, maybe a face light or a light over the desk where you're working at, whichever you want to go with. But, you know, this is not going to break the bank, and I think this is going to be a great product for you guys to take a look at. So definitely check it out. All right, what do we got next? All right, so let's take a look at some of our audio gear. You guys know this microphone is my daily driver right here. This beast of a microphone. Let me grab this camera here real quick and show you. All right, so this microphone right here, guys, is the Rode Procaster. I've had this microphone over 4 years. And I'm telling you, even with all the high-end microphones I've received over the last 3 or 4 years, if something ever happened to this microphone, I would definitely buy it again, okay? All right, so let me show you what this microphone is normally connected to. And that is this device that you see down here on my desk. This is the Rodecaster Pro 2. This is going to allow you to connect up to 4 microphones, 4 sets of headphones. It gives you a ton of audio features built into it. You have a touch screen right here where you can go in and set, let's say right now, this is my microphone, so I could click on that. I could go in and set up, you know, my noise gate, my compressor, big bottom, all of those features I can set up right here within this device, which is super cool. You can also go through it. It has a lot of presets for certain microphones, mostly Rode microphones. If you have the new Rode Wireless Microphone 2, you can actually connect to this through Bluetooth, which is super cool. If you wanted to have like a mobile type of live stream or content creation, and you just still wanted to have a wireless mic, you didn't want to have a big mic on you, this is how you do it. All of my sound effects come from this device, guys. Yeah! So I have sound effects assigned to all the different buttons and also the voice effects. You know, I just press on a button here.
And this is why you get that bass in your face.
Or you get that Tweety Bird. You get that Tweety Bird sound. Or you might want to sound like a robot.
Yes, if you want to sound like a robot, we got you for that too. We got a lot of different sound effects, voice effects that you can enable, and you're just going to connect it to whichever button you want to press.
And then maybe you want an open area like this that sounds like you're doing a concert, or you're in a church, steeple, a church open room or something like that. You have that.
You also have this incognito voice. So if you're trying to hide your identity, when you're making blooper videos about Richard, but you don't want Richard to know that it's you making the video, okay, you could just use this incognito feature and Richard will never know. Never know. Never know.
But anyway, guys, this is the Rodecaster Pro 2. So definitely check this guy out if you're ready to step up your audio game. This guy right here is a win. Definitely check it out. Now, if you're not ready yet for that, I got something for you too. I got something for you. So you don't have to break the bank to get good audio. Some microphones that I do highly recommend are these microphones right here. These are wireless microphones. Now, these guys are from our friends over at Anchor. These are the Anchor M650 wireless microphones. All right, so let me show you what you get. You're going to get two omnidirectional microphones. You're going to get the receiver. The receiver also has adapters. As you guys see here, you have an adapter for iPhone. You have an adapter for Android or the new iPhones, which is USB-C. There's a lightning adapter that comes with it as well. Of course, you can plug in a cable if you want to connect this directly to a camera. It does have a little clip on here that fits right into the hot shoe of the camera. So that's really nice. You have both audio levels on here from either microphone. You guys should be able to see while I'm talking. Both of those are moving at the same time. So really, really high-end setup, guys, on these. Oh, let's turn this guy up. Is acting crazy. I don't know what's going on with this gimbal back here. The gimbal's back there fighting itself. But anyway, so these microphones right here, guys, you can get here on Amazon. These are the Anchorwork M650 wireless microphones. They are currently $179. Now, this case does charge the microphones as well. So that's another cool feature. And also, when you're ready to offload your audio, because this has internal recording as well, just like the other microphones that we talked about. So check this out. So you have these magnets. These are rare earth magnets, and they just connect like that. This also has the same kind of clip, and you can easily detach these. Here's the microphone itself. You have a 3.5 right here that you can plug into the a standard lavalier microphone or whatever the case it is. So yeah, you get a lot of features with this. I think I got allergic to Richard there for a second. But anyways, anyway, like I said, guys, really nice, portable, easy to travel with microphones. So definitely check these out. These are going to be great as a kind of run and gun rig. If you're pairing this up with something like the Osbot Talent or this YOLO box or whatever device is going to be, this is going to be a win. So definitely check these out, as I am constantly knocking over stuff on my desk. But Richard, you can't see that anymore because I narrowed the image on the desk. Yeah. And that was inspired because of Richard, because Richard always says my desk looks horrible, which he is right. All right, so next item in the carousel, guys, is going to be a battery combination backpack from Blue Yeti. That's the hands-free 2. Well, there's a hands-free 1 and there's a hands-free 2. I actually have the hands-free 1, and it's the blue backpack that I'm always talking about. Amazing, high-quality backpack. Of course, it's in the other room, but it's the backpack that I use all the time for my drone jobs. Now, what's special about that backpack is the battery that comes with it, and that is actually this battery right here. Now you can now finally buy this battery separately, okay? I was saying when I first got that backpack, man, they really need to sell this battery separately because it is slim. You know, anybody could probably fit this in a variety of different backpacks out there. Even if you don't have the Blue Yeti backpack, you could probably make this work. Now this has AC and DC power delivery. Has a nice little LCD screen right here. You have controllable buttons for AC and DC power. You have a USB-C ×2, USB-A ×2, and you also have the input right here for charging this up using solar panels. And it also comes with a standard 3-prong plug for your AC power to charge this guy up. Now, the battery by itself is $249. Wait a minute. Wait, what? The battery is $249, but the backpack is $279 with the battery. Okay? With the battery. $279 with the battery. Okay? So if you want the battery by itself, you save a little bit, but you lose out on getting the backpack. I think it's worth it to get it with the backpack. Definitely worth it to get it with the backpack. You know, I use this battery a lot, guys. I use it for, you know, running my lasers and powering lights and all kind of stuff like that. But if I was buying this myself and I had that choice of purchasing the battery by itself or the battery with the backpack, I would get the battery with the backpack. No questions asked. I'd get the battery with the backpack. All right, so Richard is putting some coupons down there for you guys in the comments. So definitely check that out. I need to duck under my desk here for a second to find something. Excuse me for a second. I need to get a product out of here. Where is it? Where is it? It is way back there. Oh my goodness. Why is this stuff always so far back? Okay. So I need to get this little power brick out, which I should have got out before I started to stream. So now I have to get under the desk to get this out, which is not a big deal. I'll get it. Okay, maybe not. You know what? You know what? I'm not going to look for it. It's too far in there. Anyway, there is this little Ugreen power brick. It's basically it's a 65 watt power brick. I'm just going to show it to you guys because it'll be a lot easier for me to show it to you on the product page than for me to crawl underneath this desk because that is just crazy. And no, it's not a blooper alert. But anyways, anyway, this is the 65 watt power brick that we're talking about right here. It has two USB-A's, two USB-C's, one USB-A, 65 watts. It's $30 and $32.48. $32.48. Definitely check it out. It comes in a variety of colors. So you get the white variant, which is new. You get the purple variant with a little bow on the back, which is, you know, been around for a while. And this is the one that I have that I can't seem to find right now, and it's probably somewhere just like right in front of me, but I don't see it. Oh, I think I do see it. I think I see it back there, but I'm not going to go get it. But anyway, this is what you get, guys. $32.48. $32.48 is what you get with this guy here. Yeah, it works great. I have a couple of Ugreen batteries as well as power bricks as well, and I am a huge fan of those. Their 65 watt power brick is the one that I usually carry around with me in my drone bag, you know, just in case I need to, you know, charge up one of the drone batteries and stuff, because these, the Fly More bundle that comes with the drone requires between 65 and 100 watts to charge all three of these batteries at the same time. If not, it will take all night to charge those batteries back up because of the capacity of the batteries. All right, let's get over here and take a look at Govee, some of our Govee products. All right, so the next item we have listed in the carousel is the Govee RGB IC light, which is this guy right here. Okay, so right now you can get this for $69.99. Now this one is the version that does require an AC plug, the one that you guys see back there. Let's see if I can move this camera over. That one back there has a battery, does not require, you know, the power, but this one does. So we're gonna power it up. So I have the cable right here. Let's plug this guy into the cable, and we're gonna plug it into this Blue Yeti battery. And let's power on our AC power. And then this guy should wake up. And give it a second. Come on, did it wake up? There we go. All right, so you guys can see. So I should be able to cycle through some of the color effects by just pressing the little button here on the top. As you guys can see, I can just kind of switch through some of these different color effects. Now, this one also does not have a speaker, where the other one does have a built-in JBL speaker. This one does not. But if you're just setting up something for your desk, for your nightstand or something like that, this is going to be an amazing little light. And it's only $69.99 for this. Very beautiful, very elegant, lightweight. It's got the nice rubberized material underneath so it doesn't slide all around your desk. So really nice design here. You can also bring the light intensity down. I'm gonna try to bring it down some so you guys can see some of these lighting effects as I change to them. So hopefully the camera's not blowing this completely out. It probably is. So let me switch to my other camera that might show this a little bit better. Let me switch over to this guy. So that way you guys can see this light a little bit better. So this is one of the lighting effects, and I'm just tapping here on the top of the light, and it's just going through these different effects. Now, of course, this is gonna work with Meta, it's gonna work with Google Home, it's gonna work with Alexa, and of course the Govee app, you know, that you can go in and really do some customized lighting effects or different scenes that are available for this. You'll be able to switch those on and off as well from this. And like I said, you can adjust the light intensity up or down right from here on the top. You can turn it on and off. Let me know what you guys think about this light. I think this phone does a much better job showing you guys what the cool lighting effects look like, you know. And I'm just, you know, barely scratching the surface of the lighting effects that you can get with this light. So let me know what you guys think about this. If you have a similar light or this light, or maybe you're interested in that light back there, let me know which of these two is tickling your pickle. I like them both, honestly, guys. I've had this one for over a year, and this used to be on my bedside table, but of course I had to use it recently for a Govee stream, so it's been down here in the studio ever since then. But I think it'll probably make its way back upstairs at some point or another. But like I said, I think this is a really cool light, and like just the little buttons that I'm pressing here is not even giving you guys a fair indication of what all you can do with this light. I didn't bring my other phone over to this side of the room, so I can't log into the Govee app really easily here to show you what we can do with it. But you know what? I actually need to go grab my phone anyway for the next light. So let me go ahead and do that so I can show you guys what this can actually do before Smokey starts acting up. All right. So let me switch over to that camera angle so you guys can see that light back there while I run over and grab my phone, because I'm going to need it for the other light so I can show you guys the cool effects of that light. I'm going to go ahead and turn this light off by just unplugging it. And let me go grab my phone. I'll be right back. All right, I have returned. All right, so let me show you guys what this other light can do. Let me switch back over here. Awesome lights, Richard says. Awesome lights. Okay, so let's talk about the next light coming up here. I have it right here under the desk. Let me grab it. So that would be this neon rope light that you guys see right here. Let's go ahead and plug this guy into the same battery, plugging it into our AC2A, and the light automatically came on. Actually, I want to, let me get this loose. Hold on. Cable management, cable management. Don't start, Richard. Cable management. All right, so there we go. There's a light. Let's plug it back in. All right, so I'm just gonna, can I fit that over my head? Can I fit that over my head? Let's see. Nope, cannot. All right, so anyway, I'm just gonna hold it in my hand. All right, so here is the light and some of the cool things we can do with it. I'm gonna set this on my desk as well because I'm gonna grab the iPhone so that you guys can see the light patterns a lot better. Let's try our top-down camera first to see if that gives us, nope. Still not gonna give us enough saturation. Okay, so let me grab this and I'm gonna switch this camera around. And let's see if you guys can see it here. You should be able to see the lights right here, but I'm gonna log into the Govee app here real quick and show you guys what we can do with this. So here is our Govee Home app, which is this app right here. So we're looking for our neon rope lights, which are those lights that are already on. So let's go ahead and switch over to those. And then I'm just gonna set this phone down right here on the desk, grab my headphones, and I'm going to grab the camera so I can show you guys these colors a little bit better. And I'm just going to go through some of the color presets. So this is a sunrise. This is universe. Let me move back so you guys can kind of see my phone. So that's universe. These are waves, flowers, sunset, rainbow. Here is another rainbow. Here's a waterfall. So that's just a few, but you got a huge arrangement of different presets you can choose from. You just go through and find whatever preset you want to use for these lights. Here's one for Masquerade, which is kind of cool. Here's Dreamland. You have, yeah, man. I mean, these are some beautiful, beautiful lights. I just have not found a place yet, to put these lights, here in the studio. But I'm still thinking about it. Now, these guys, you can get them here on Amazon for $89.99, $89.99. If there's a coupon, trust me, Richard has probably already posted it down in the comments. So if there's any savings or discounts for these lights, you'll definitely see them down in the comments. But you also have the ability to set these to music, where you can set a different effect, like say for this one, and then you can set that up where it's going to respond to voice. And then when you start talking, it's really going to go crazy like it is right now. And then when you stop talking, now this would be the same as if you were using, playing music or something like that. So if you had your music going, man, this would just be rocking it out. I mean, you could imagine this, guys, in your game room, your man cave, your she shed, wherever you want to put it. I mean, they got some cool effects here. Here's one spectacular. I like that. I like that. I also like this one. Let me hit it. So this is another cool one with some cool lighting effects. So let me know what you guys like so far as the lights you've looked at from Govee. These rope lights, this table lamp, and also the higher end one. Now, speaking of other lights, we have another light here from Govee as well. Let me just rotate the camera around here so you guys can see it. That is this light right here. This is the Govee Up Light. This is a floor lamp as well. It's $179.99. So what this one does, which is so cool, let me see if I can get the camera to turn upright, up, so you guys can see. That's what it does. It literally puts all of the cool lighting effects on the ceiling, guys. So, you know, if you're into things like that, that's going to be a win as well for you, you know, because you can put this guy right here in your room somewhere and just cast those lights onto the ceiling. It also has an underlight. So if you wanted to turn the lower light on, there's controls right here within the stand of the light itself. But I think most people are going to be excited about, you know, this aspect of it. Now, this light is normally taller than what you guys see here, but it's so tall that it was impossible for me to show it in a stream without putting a camera way up on the ceiling. So I took out one of the sections of the metal stand here, just so you guys would be able to see what this looks like. But, you know, that's the light. If you guys have any questions about it, let me know down in the comments. We got one more set of lights here. No, two actually, but we'll get to those in a second. So I'm going to kind of raise this camera up here just in case we need to switch to it. But before I do that, I need to turn the other lights off. So let me power those off. Now, these lights that are behind me here on the back wall are also powered by a Blue Yeti battery. So let me power those on real quick. All right, that's the wrong plug in there. All right, let me plug these in. There we go. All right, you guys should see those turn on right now. So those are also a set of our Blue Yeti lights as well. Now, what I like about these, let me see if I can show it to you from this camera's angle. Hold on, let me switch back over here. So that's probably a closer up look at those lights. So I have those also connected to the app. So let me just switch over here real quick and find those lights and show you guys some of the cool things we can do with those. So I'm just gonna grab just a few effects here just to show you what these lights can do. Now these are $99.99. There's I think it's 47 feet on these lights. 48 feet on these lights. And again, you have a bunch of different lighting effects that you can go through. So this one right here is sunrise. This is sunset. This is sun glow. This is aurora. Let's grab another one. Here's bonfire. So you can see what that looks like. I'm just going to jump through a few of these. This one here is meteor. So it's like a meteor shower or something like that. Here's the sun. And here is crystal cave. So you have a crystal cave effect. Now you have a lot of different effects with these lights. That's what I was telling you guys before. So if you're using the app, you know, you can go through, you know, you got Halloween effects. You got a bunch of different Halloween color effects that you can go through. You know, you got your Christmas lighting effects that you can go through as well. You have quite a few Christmas ones. You know, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I see there, Christmas ones. There's Christmas candy canes. There's your, for my lovers out there, Valentine's Day. We have our Easter eggs. And then, like I said, you have, you know, natural, you have festive, you have life, you have emotional, you have universe. You can go through these different planet kind of color effects on here. You know, there's Mars. Here is Earth, Milky Way. And then you have fun ones, you know, like the little fight game. You have a gaming lighting effect as well. So you got a lot of different ones as well. And also you can set this to music or to sound, just like we did with the others. You have your AI features, your DIY, and you have other features with this. And you can turn them on and off right from the app itself. So if you want just a solid color for some reason, you can do a solid color. So if you want it to be red or orange or yellow or green, blue, whatever colors, you know, these are RGB lights, guys. So you're going to get all of that flexibility with these lights. So definitely check those out. All right, so the only lights we have left is going to be our curtain lights that are directly behind me here in the studio, okay? So let me switch over to those so you guys can see those. And on the curtain lights, I'm going to go through some of the lighting effects on those as well, just to show you guys. Richard says there's a 10% off coupon for the curtain lights that brings those down to $116.99, $15 off. All right, so let's go back here. Let me find my curtain lights. And I'm gonna connect to them real quick. Right now we have just the green color, but I can go to this red color you guys see here. Here's orange, green, blue. Takes a second for them to switch over, but there's the blue and there's the purple, and then you have a white light as well. You also have different scenes. So here's like a rainbow effect that you guys can see right there. We have this groovy, baby, it's groovy.
It's got that groove going on. Ha ha ha! Yes, sir.
You have peach. What is this? Okay. We have artists. So here's an artistic thing here. Here's under our neutral things. We have starfish. I'm going to skip through these. Here's the rainbow. Here is planet. Let me see if I can bring this camera down a little bit for you guys to see it a little bit better. There's our planet. Here's our falling petals. All right, here's a star. Here's a mushroom. No, that does not remind me of Richard in any kind of way. I don't know why y'all keep trying to put these thoughts in my head. Stop using your psychic powers on me. All right, anyway, here's lotus pads. So we'll see what those look like. And let's go to animal. Okay, so we got some animals. Here's a jellyfish. Here is a seahorse. That's kind of cool. Here's a fox. There's a little fox. Here's a whale. So just imagine, guys, you can use these outdoors, indoors. They have an IP65 rating. They're going to be good in cold weather, wet weather. Here's a horse. There's a horse winking at you. Here's a bat. Batman. Here's a peacock. So yeah, you have a lot of effects that you can use with these lights, guys. So if that's something that you guys would be into, I'm telling you, the curtain lights, you cannot go wrong with the curtain lights. Okay, the curtain lights are amazing, guys. They are amazing. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Okay, I thought I saw something else from Hope over there on YouTube. No, she's good. All right, so we got, let me see how many items we got. We got one item left, and that was the last thing that I got in today. And I did buy this myself because I needed one. I really needed one. So, and that is this right here. So let me get it. Oh. So that is this rotary cheese grater. I know this is not tech that I normally talk about, but you guys know I love to cook as well. So I needed one of these cheese graters. I have a cheese grater, like a manual one, you know, where you can shave off your knuckles and the side of your hand while you're trying to grate the cheese. And I was trying to avoid that as much as possible. So I was like, okay, let me just look around and see what I can find. And I found this here on Amazon. It was $20.99. I ordered it today and it arrived today, okay? So I'm going to show you guys everything that comes in the box. So first things first, I got to get this YOLO box out of here so I can free up some space on the desk. So let me just unplug all of these cables. Give me 1 second to unplug all these cables. And then we're going to get to it. All right, that's out, that's out. Let's unplug this battery. All right, this guy still has 100% charge on it. That's why I'm telling you, those portable batteries really come in handy. All right, so let's set that right there where it's secure. Is it secure? Nope. Set that on the desk. I ain't taking no chances. All right, so let me get rid of these cables so we can free up some space here on the desk. All right, let's unplug these HDMI cables and throw these somewhere off to the side. There we go. All right. I think we have freed up enough space. Maybe. Maybe. All right, what does Richard say there? Chuck E. Cheese. Now I know who you remind me of. Chuck E. Cheese? Really? Okay. Okay. Well, I can't say who you remind me of, Richard, because I've never seen your face. So I don't know. Anyway, but let's get to this item right here on my desk. Let's go down. There we go. All right, so here is the box that everything comes in. Hopefully everything is going to be in this box. Actually, you know what? Let me move this camera out of the way too. Free up a little bit more space. There we go. All right, so here we go. This is what comes in the box. Let's pop this open. And if you guys want me to demo this, let me know right now because I'll have to go and get stuff to be able to demo it. But anyway, this is the little manual that comes with it. It's pretty self-explanatory, you know, how to how to connect all the different pieces. All right, so let's see what we got here. So here's the handle. All right, so let's take all these pieces out. So here is the handle that comes with it, okay? And I think this is the grater itself. Yep, it is. And this is the part that suctions onto your table or desk or whatever it is. And you have this little locking mechanism. And then you have this little thing underneath here that sucks onto the desk. So you got that. That's one part of it. Okay, what else do we have here? You have a cleaning brush that comes with it. This is the cylinder and component that you're going to push everything through. Okay, so I'm trying to get all of the plastic put away at the same time as we unwrap this so I don't have anything to throw away at the end. Okay, so the first blade in here is actually the blade that I'm most interested in, which is this blade right here, because this can make chips. Okay, so it can make, like, you know, potato chips or slicing fruit or vegetables or whatever it is. Yeah, this is the one right here. This is the one I'm going to use the most. I can tell y'all already, okay? Now it comes with, let me move this box, put that on the desk, and grab this smaller box. All right, let's get this little box here. And we have this portion right here. This is the part that this mounts onto. And let's see what we have in this box. All right, so we have two other blades in here. So we have this cheese shredder style. This is the smaller one. And then here is the larger one for like larger, longer cheese. You have that one as well. Now, the way this works, I'll show you guys here. The way this works, this piece right here goes in like so, okay? Now this is actually the top of it right here. So this goes in through here. Then you're gonna take this handle, you got this little lever that you can pull down right here, and this is just gonna clip on to those pieces like that. And that's what's gonna allow you to, you know, do the little rotation and everything, okay? So now this section right here locks into this piece right here. Let me get that up. And that's going to lock in like that, okay? So now this is what the thing looks like when it's completely assembled. That's what it looks like. And then this section right here is what you use to push down on whatever it is that you're trying to, you know, send through this, okay? And then, like I said, you have another little lever here on the side for releasing this piece. All of these pieces can go into the dishwasher. And this section right here just locks down like so. So hopefully I can lock this down and I can grab something like a carrot or a potato or something and show you guys how this works. I just got to make sure I got enough rotation to be able to rotate this. Okay, so let me see if I can lock this down. Okay, so that should be, oh yeah, that's locked. That's going nowhere. That is going nowhere. Okay, so let me go grab a potato and something to slice the potato into so we don't have a potato catastrophe here on my desk. So let me go grab a little plate and a piece of potato, and we're gonna slice it up and see what we come up with. I'll be right back. Oh, look at this. I forgot, I already got the potato from earlier, but I noticed this potato is way too big to go through here, so I'm gonna have to go make some modifications on this potato. I'll be right back. All right, so this is probably not the perfect slice. Hold on, where'd my camera go? This is probably not the perfect slice for this, but this is what I just cut right here. So I cut the sides off and I cut the potato in half. And of course I did forget to get something to put this in. So now I still got to go grab like a little bowl or something to put this in. I'll be right back again. Good thing my studio is so close to the kitchen, because if not, I would have literally been running into the other room. Or when my studio used to be upstairs, this would have been a nightmare. Okay, so here's our potato. You know, we can just rotate here. I'm gonna grab the guard and just grab the guard here, and we're gonna just kind of press on here, and we're just gonna see how well this works. So we're just gonna start cutting and pushing, cutting and pushing, cutting and pushing. Now remember, I did shape this weird because I gave the potato a different shape, but I'll show you guys what it's supposed to look like. All right, so there we go. So these are kind of the square shaped chips. So I can show you guys how those came out. So of course you can season these, you know, and fry them up in your air fryer or in oil or whatever you want to do, and create some really cool chips out of these. Now, of course, like I said before, this is easy to clean. So we're just going to pop the handle off. We can push this out. There's probably still some potatoes in there. There's the remainder of the potato that was left over that would go in the trash. And then you'd be able to run this through your dishwasher with no problems, you know, whenever you're ready to do that. So yeah, this is pretty cool, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited. I've been thinking about this thing all day today, and I know what you guys are probably thinking. Rome, with all the tech that you get sent, that people send you to talk about, this is what you're excited about? Yes, I'm excited about. I'm excited about my food, y'all. I'm excited about my food. Don't fool yourself, okay? So yeah, it's time for Rome to get going and get ready to make some dinner for tonight. Yes, sir. Some square chips. We're gonna make some square chips. All right, where'd my headphones go? All right, so hopefully everybody had a good time here on the stream. You learned something. If nothing else, you were somewhat entertained. If that's the case, then I have done my job, my babies. All right, so what do we got? Last item in the carousel. Let me grab it. That would be this item right here. This is our drawstring backpacks. You guys know I always have this in the carousel. This item right here is an amazing item because, of course, you could use it for a variety of different things. You could use this for storage. You could use this for a reusable shopping bags. You can use these for a day trip or whatever the case it may be. Okay, you know, it's normally a drawstring that you can put on, you know, your shoulders like a regular backpack. But what we use these for is to fill them with items that we purchase here on Amazon in bulk. We get toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, Band-Aids, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, reusable water bottles, anything we can hand sanitizer, lots of hand sanitizers, the little small units that we can drop into those bags. So I've even found some water purification tablets before. I haven't gotten those recently, but I used to get those all the time too, where people can just drop those into water if they're, the water is questionable. At least they can, knock out some of the bacteria and germs out of the water just to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. You know what I'm talking about, Richard. But yeah, those backpacks really come in handy, guys, and I do highly recommend if you're going to be doing something good for your community, you're trying to gift to the homeless community, gift to the women's shelters, pet shelters, whatever the case it is, you can create these little bags, guys, and you can have them with you in your vehicle, especially if it's for the homeless or whatever the case it may be. And as you're driving down the road, living your life, doing what you do, and if you run across someone that's at a stop sign or convenience store that's asking for help, you can just hand them one of those bags and you could get on about your life down the road, and you know that you have done some good, put in some good work for today. So I do recommend it. Now, if you don't have these bags or have not invested in these bags, or you don't want to invest in these bags, that's okay too. You can get yourself some of those gallon size Ziploc bags. They can come in different colors, or just the clear can work too. You can still fill those up with a bunch of items and just have those in like a little box in your vehicle. And if you run up on somebody, you can just grab one of those, hand it off to them, and then get on down the road the way we do. Y'all know how we do. You know how we do. All right, my babies, so that's about it for tonight. I'm going to be back here on Wednesday night. I will be live on Govi's channel again on Wednesday night. That's July 30th. I mean 3rd. July 3rd. I will be live on Govi's channel again, and then I will most likely, I'm not sure yet, but I'll probably go live here on my stream first, and then we'll go live on Govi thereafter. About 30 minutes to an hour after my stream, we'll go live over on Govi's stream, so like we did last time. But anyway, yeah, that's about it, my babies. That's about it. Well, that's about all I got for y'all tonight. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones, get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Be a good human. Say it with me now. Be a good human. Every day, guys, from your heart, do something good to help humanity, to help the community, to help someone that can't help themselves, so that someday in the future, hopefully they will also be inspired to help others. That's how we pay it forward. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right, my babies, time for me to wrap it up for the night the way we do, because Smokey is already trolling. He's ready for dinner. Time for me to go ahead and lock it down, babies. But I will show y'all what the chips look like. I'll send y'all, I'll post some pictures over on our Facebook group or on Instagram or someplace like that. So y'all will be seeing it in just a little bit. All right, but yeah, butter, that goes on bread. But anyway, it's time for me to wrap it up for the night the way we do. Let me go ahead also and turn off this gimbal, because that thing needs to charge as well. All right, my babies, time for me to say them magic words. Peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom, 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 my babies. Don't forget to follow my man Richard over there on TikTok, especially if you want to catch some of the latest bloopers, because Richard be reaching way back. He finds bloopers of stuff I did like 2-3 years ago, and he will put his Richard magic on it, and I'm telling you guys, they are hilarious. So make sure you following Richard over on TikTok. But I'll see you guys right back here on Wednesday night, my babies. Until then, stay safe. Peace. I'm out.